fell flat on their faces. Alex Cora didn't really have them ready to go in the second half, and they were 2-5 out of the break. Did go 8 games over for the duration of the second half last year, but certainly not sustaining any momentum that they had going into the 2025 All-Star break. This year, though, they built the positive vibes with this streak, obviously. And even before with the sweep of the Yankees, that's when I got thinking. Hey, if they get Garrett Crochet back and Roman Anthony back, trade for a right-handed bat, at the deadline, maybe we got something here. I mean, maybe we do have something here. Joe, do we have any updates recently on Crochet or Anthony? I'm hearing no. I'm hearing nothing.
So not much on either. I know Anthony,
Buckus.
I guess, is doing better, but still
Doing better.
Not good enough to swing the bat yet. So that doesn't sound great.
That doesn't.
And then I haven't heard anything from Crochet.
Yeah.
But if he does make a rehab start, Sean, you and I should be going to Worcester with Mr. Murray, and we could have a great time down
Let's
there.
do it. Let's plan on that. I would love to go to a Woo Sox game. I went to a Woo Sox game with my son a few years ago. It was wonderful.
Are you buying in, Sean, on the Sox now with this 10-game win streak? Are you in?
Here's the thing. I was bought in after the offseason that they had. I don't have to, turn tail here and re-explain my positioning and, be overweight. And if you're on the YouTube tonight, be way over here and for one part of the season, then be reactionary and way over here and then come back way over here. Yes, I've had my quibbles with the Red Sox this spring and summer, for sure. But I think that I've been pretty consistent with the things that I've had problems with. One of them was Alex Cora. And I don't think Craig Breslow is the perfect general manager or president of baseball operations, whatever you want to call him, the guy who's managing the general day-to-day acquisitions and mergers of the Red Sox. But coming out of the offseason, I said, okay. They didn't get a right-handed bat. But the guys that they did add, very good. So I was like, this is a B offseason. It's a B minus offseason. It was good. It was good. Much like last year's trade deadline where the Red Sox failed to get Joe Ryan. Oh, wait, everybody failed to get Joe Ryan. So how can it be just the Red Sox failing to get Joe Ryan? Nobody got Joe Ryan. Nobody still has gotten Joe Ryan away from the Minnesota Twins. We'll see if that even happens this year. It was a hypothetical that didn't happen. Reportedly, sources say, all that great stuff. But the Red Sox offseason, Craig Breslow, he has faults. He has flaws. Could admit that. I think a lot of the stuff that's been reported about, the way that they're trying to get to the place that they're going with the analytics and stuff, that's concerning. But that's seeping into everything. That's even seeping into my favorite basketball team, and we'll be talking about that tonight. But his offseason, the guys he got, Wilson Contreras, all-star. Sonny Gray, and I listen to national MLB, discussion too, not just locally. We do have some great local stuff here, of course. We're at the forefront of that, right? We just heard it, Baseball Hour. But the national discussion around the American League All-Stars, Sonny Gray was the biggest snub. They got him in the offseason. Ranger Suarez, all-star. Caleb Durbin, terrible out of the chute. Terrible out of the chute, and much like Suarez, was maligned by the fan base for what they did in the first 2-3 weeks before everybody just said, I'm out. Yeah, also coinciding with the Cora firing, right? But if you only watched for April, you thought these guys stunk. Ranger Suarez wound up on the All-Star team. So if you tune back in, a couple months later, that was probably a rude awakening. Also the fact that Caleb Durbin has been a very dependable bat over the last month. And is a guy that I even saw him get picked up in my fantasy league, for God's sake. And this isn't like some deep, crazy league here. It was like a 10-team league. Somebody picked up Caleb Durbin because he's swinging a good bat. And he's playing great defense. And the analytics back that up. So Craig Breslow's offseason was very good. It was not great. It was not a home run. It was very good. I haven't deviated from that at all. I also haven't deviated from the opinion that Alex Cora, post getting his extension here, which he didn't even want in the first place, but they gave it to him, and he was just like, I'll take the money, sure, was on cruise control. And he's just been spending his summer, clapping back at the Red Sox. Where have those posts been recently? Have we had any Alex Cora chatter on IG or TikTok or wherever he is these days? Anything, Joe, you follow? Good old AC?
No, I mean, I know he spoke at the All-Star game,
okay.
right?
Okay.
And he sounded still supportive of the Red Sox.
Okay.
But I don't think there's any. Yeah, there hasn't been
no
any,
shrouded,
no shots or anything.
Yeah. And they've never been like explicit shots.
No, I feel like is it possible that they're keeping the? I'm not saying he'll ever come back here, but they don't want to burn the bridge.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems like Veritek, via his wife / spokesperson, seemed to burn the bridge a little bit, and that was something that they wanted to keep alive, right? I think that you look at all of... Okay, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's good. How can that be a final? Is that game already over? My kid's baseball team appears to have won tonight.
What position does your kid play?
We'll throw that into the headlines. He is primarily first base.
Nice. That's what I played.
And just, a big, long, tall kid can pick it a little bit. So he's been good over there. He's been driving in runs, had a couple of triples, had a couple of doubles this summer, just really coming into his own. I'm very proud of him. And, we got this thing now called the Game Changer app. There's so many different apps. There's the Sports Engine and Game Changer and Team Snap. You hear me out there, parents of kids who play sports. But the Game Changer app has push notifications. Usually I don't allow notifications on my phone because it's just I don't want to hear when someone likes my tweet. I don't want to hear when somebody DMs me on Instagram. Like next time I open up Instagram, I'll see it, whatever. Which, hey, let's completely just go into whatever right from the start of the show because it's Sylver and not Joe. Not that Joe would be scared to do this either. But last week when I was in and I got tagged in a video that Riley made with Joe running around the...
We're making Instagram videos
running
now,
aroon the
Sean,
office
I'm evolving.
It was like you needed that sound effect, like when Fred Flintstone gets the car going, like that was like Joe just sprinting in fast motion. And I have every time I open Instagram, like another person has liked that reel. And it's funny because my Instagram account, like the people who follow me and I follow back, only friends and family, right? So like Joe, like we I don't know if we are, maybe we are, follow each other on Instagram. But like, if I don't know you personally, I'm not inviting you in there. So I'm not used to getting notifications. So
now you're Mr. I'm in the same boat. I never got notifications.
Yeah.
And now we're stars because, we got a good crop of interns via social media.
Yes.
They know what they're doing, unlike us old people. I'm throwing myself in there. I'm almost 30.
You're an old soul.
Yeah, I'm an old soul.
You're an old soul.
So it is wild how many people are viewing this, and they're all like Sean Sylver. So, they're going to, once they see you're out there, they're going to follow you.
Yeah,
stuff.
No, hey, and I often I'll reach out to somebody and I'll just be like, hey, thanks for the follow request, but, I don't know you personally. Follow my podcast. Just go over there. But yeah, I got on this just because of apps and notifications. The one I have, the Game Changer app, gives me the push notifications because I don't want to miss a message from like a parent, right? Or from another one of the coaches, or something's rescheduled, or practice has been changed, or whatever. So, yes, looks like the team won tonight. We'll have to throw that into the headlines. Big
I tell
news.
my girlfriend all the time, it's only a matter of time until I'm famous now because of all these Instagram likes. taking credit for not my work for my 100 new followers.
Are you kidding me? You're clearly like Riley's muse here. She's featuring you in her content.
Yeah, I'm the talent. I'm not. Yeah, I can't film, but I can be the talent of the video.
Exactly. You're not the influencer, but you're the muse. So I there's a role for all of us here. Hey, you want to get rich and famous off of that, then let's go. I don't know how. Like, if you're the influencer, you get the clicks and you get the clout and you get the income, the revenue stream. But now somebody's just shooting videos of you. It's Street Team Joe.
I haven't seen any revenue and income yet. Can confirm.
Street Team Joe OnlyFans. There we go.
Oh God.
There we go. But all of this to say, that I'm kind of feeling it, and I kind of want to know. I heard McCarthy talking about it. If they go 7-3 in this 10-game homestand, and they have shown no propensity to have any sort of success at home through the earlier part of this season. If they go 7-3 on this homestand, McCarthy's in. Buy. If they go 3-7, McCarthy's out. Sell. Hey, I kind of feel the same way. A hot streak does not a season make, right? So you got a couple weeks here to kind of figure out what you really are, and can our pitchers continue contribute the way that they have? Can the bats support these pitchers? Because it has been truly, the model has been pitching and defense. I don't think that's a super great model right now in MLB. You need some bats. Maybe that's where you're going to turn when things come to August 3rd and you're bringing in a bat. I don't know, Joe. If this team doesn't get back Crochet and Anthony, is it fruitless to try and go out there and add?
I feel like they're tricking me like how the Red Sox do every year. But I feel like I kind of am a little bit bought in. Maybe I'm just listening to the Joe, Murray, and Skaz propaganda, and I am, 10 because they've bought in, and I follow my orders, so I might be.
You can have your own opinion.
Yeah, I can have my own opinion.
You're your own man.
But they are kind of convincing me that we might have a baseball season here, and it might be worth investing. The pitching staff is great, so it's like you can add a bat or two, and if Anthony comes back, are you right back in the mix?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with McCarthy. Like, I kind of shudder to think about Trevor Story being ready to come back, or Marcelo Meyer. Like, who knows what happened with that guy? I'm trying to focus less on the rumors and innuendo around this team and just more on the night-to-night product, because that's fun. They're giving me fun, and I appreciate that. I did want to say, what was it? You mentioned about they draw you in, they sucker you in. 2023, going into the All-Star break, they won 8 out of 9. And then things fell completely apart at the deadline. They went 15 under the rest of the way. In 2024, they won 9 out of 12 going into the All-Star break. And then they were swept 4 straight by the Dodgers. After that, they went 10 games under for the second half as a whole. And we already mentioned last year, 10-game win streak going to the end of the All-Star break. So what is it with this team getting hot going to the All-Star break and then falling on their face after? This was a way to not fall on your face, as the camera shows Brian Bayo in the dugout for the Red Sox tonight. But, 10-0, we'll take it. That's a dub. I don't know. Looks like we got a couple of calls lined up. Let's get to them. John in Boston, you're off the top here. John, can you pull that up? Joe, I don't have my phone screen up. John, how are you?
Hey, John, just stepped to the side. This is actually Jaron Duran from the Boston Red Sox. So we've won 10 in a row now. We're going to a second. We're going to a game number 2. I'm feeling a little wishy-washy, a little low energy. Does the Macho Man have anything to maybe, bring the fire back, bring my hunger back for this game 2? I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, Sylver.
Jaron Duran. Oh, yeah. I don't know what you're doing picking a fight with Milken, yeah. Because that guy's my people, yeah. And the enemy of my friend is also my enemy. You don't want to get in the danger zone, do you? Uh-huh.
That would be the message to Jaron Duran. Honestly, I think I wrote down in my show notes, do we have to talk about the Milliken-Jaron Duran feud? Good Lord. Like, yeah, maybe we'll get into it later when we're doing the musings, but the roller coaster of the Jaron Duran experience, and it's funny too, because like I was thinking about Wilson Contreras and just all the stuff that's been going on around Contreras this year, and it's little finicky baseball unwritten rules, the code of the game sort of stuff, where Wilson Contreras is a little bit too fired up. We've had players like that in our midst before. Hacksaw Johnny Gomes was one, if you recall. Another one was Carl Everett. And I don't know if the name Carl Everett rings a bell for you, Joe or Chris. But there was an anniversary recently of Carl Everett headbutting an umpire, which happened. And the ump totally sold it. It was like a pro wrestling thing. There was like a little bit of contact, and that ump just went, oh man, oh man, my groin, like when he gets headbutt. It was ridiculous. But it was a whole thing in the summer of 2000. Carl Everett hit like 30 some odd home runs for the Red Sox that year, but he was a little bit too intense. And Wilson Contreras is a little bit too intense. But
did you catch any of the home run derby, Mr. Sylver?
Actually, I kind of forgot that it was on. I was just busy Monday night. I think we were at the ball field. I was getting back from Sharon, where we played a roadie in Sharon, and got back late, put the kids to bed, and I forgot that it was on Netflix for one, and lowest rated home run derby since 2003, which if you folks remember that was the year after the All-Star game ended in a tie, and everybody was like suddenly out on the All-Star game, so 2003 would have had low ratings. But yeah, lowest rated home run derby. And it's not due to the new format. The new format freaking ruled. Looking back at the home run derby, as I did, seeing highlights, you're not seeing 120 home runs hit by guys this year. You actually have, it's not outs anymore, but it's swings. You have a certain number of swings, and the one who puts the best swings on the ball is the guy who wins the contest. Why'd you ask, Joe? Just is it because of Contreras or some other reason?
No, I thought it was the best home run derby I've seen in a long time. I thought the suspense was very good. The ending was very good.
Yeah.
Contreras, you got that Red Sox feeling. I know he had a 490-foot bomb, but I thought it was a great production. And, a new star kind of developed in the home run derby. I think that's what it's, all about. Usually getting some of these guys who can hit home runs like that. Now he's kind of a household name.
Yeah.
Like Bobby Abreu back in the day.
Bobby Abreu. Oh, man, just went off. But, yeah, we've been with that format with the clock for so long, and it's just home run and home run and home run, and then they get, bonus time. And it's it was like a video game. You're just desensitized to it after a while. So it brought back some drama, but, of course, on Netflix, and I just totally forgot that I didn't even know it was a Monday night by the time I got my kids in bed. I was just like, all right, is there any sports on tonight? And I didn't see it where I usually look, so I just completely missed. And then the next day I was like, oh crap, it's Tuesday. The home run derby was last night. All right, let's see what happened. And it was great. But yeah, Wilson Contreras, he's run afoul of some people, I guess, but I kind of like it. I kind of like the loose cannon, and he's not all that bad, folks, but the loose cannons on your team, I'm all right with that. He's our loose cannon. Jaron Duran, I was in with McCone the night that Duran lost the fly ball in the lights with I forget, it was the bases loaded. I think they were playing the Blue Jays or something in the summer of 2022, and Duran just completely lost. He's like, I don't, and we're like, oh my, this guy's career is over before it even began. And then he turned it around, but all over the map here, whether it's there's just been potholes on the drive, and some of those may or may not be self-inflicted. Some of those may have been inflicted by others, but it just continues here. And I was of the mind where it's Jaron Duran, after 2024, I think. Yeah, 2024. He was a huge asset. I would have moved him after 2024 for a pitcher. But as the Rays score, But, he's remained here, and his value is cratered. When he's good, he gets the team going. He had a little streak earlier in the season. He's been in the toilet since, and now he's taking it out on Tyler Milliken. Me and Macho Man Randy Savage, we're going to stump for Tyler. Let's get one more before we go to the latest break ever. Keith in Attleboro. Keith, how are you?
Hey, let's talk about the ball club.
Yeah.
If they get Anthony back, are they in the mix? What do you think?
If I think they're in the mix now, and as McCarthy was saying, this may or may not be sustainable, right? But I don't think it's just Anthony and just Crochet, right? I would have expected those guys would be on this team if it were successful this summer. And I don't expect Anthony to be Babe Ruth in his first full MLB season. And maybe that was just too much pressure that was heaped on him. Maybe it has something to do with where we are now with the injury. Maybe he was overdoing it. Maybe he was pressing. Maybe he hurt his body. Crochet, I'm not sure what's going on there. That looked to me like arm fatigue, season's going nowhere, guys going to the shelf. We're not going to risk it. So who knows where we end up there. But don't you have to at least play it out? Because different from other teams here, for instance, like the Boston Bruins, right? The Boston Bruins are going to try and make the playoffs whether or not it's a good idea or not, because they just want to make the playoffs and pretend that they're something, even though they never are. The Bruins should have been selling. They should not have dealt for a guy and who they're paying $7.7 million to just basically replace Victor Arvidsson and JJ Peterka. But you Bruins fans probably feel good about that. We got guys calling it Felger Maz saying, "What are the Bruins sleeping during the free agency period?" Do you honestly think the Bruins should be signing free agents to add to a rebuilding team? No, they're rebuilding. The Red Sox are not rebuilding. They were built this year to compete. Therefore, the trade deadline should match that ethic. They should be competing. The manager's gone. Craig Breslow may or may not be a great GM. He's at least been a GM who can get you in this position because the guys that he signed up this offseason have put you where you are right now. 617-779-0985. Sylver, and for Joe, we're here till 10 tonight on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Baseball is back on TV 38, the Cape Cod Baseball League. This summer, watch as the best college players in the country compete for their chance to make it big. Games every Saturday all summer long on TV 38.
Nobody knows New England like McGovern Auto Group. Hi, this is Scott Zolak, and my friends at McGovern Auto Group can get you into a newer pre-owned vehicle that fits your lifestyle and your budget. With over 35 locations, 25 brands, and more than 9,000 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock. Learn more at McGovernAuto.com.
Bally's Pick of the Night, brought to you by Bally's Lincoln. My pick for every night. And guess what? This may seem ill-advised, given the way that the game is going so far. But you know what? I'm somebody who sticks to their guns, picking the Red Sox tonight. Picking that hot heat coming off of a 10-0 scorcher in Game 1. That's the Bally's Pick of the Night. And Bally's has 4,000 slots, over 100 table games, concerts, dining, a full hotel and spa. Visit Bally'sLincoln.com and follow at Bally's Lincoln on Instagram. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 877-9-GAMBLE.
Calling all restaurants. Boston Poutine Fest is coming to the Harpoon Brewery this October, and they're looking for restaurants ready to create.
Such as the Boston Celtics and the NBA in general tonight. I just want to hit on something real quick. Hey, Joe, you know why I know the Miami Heat ain't real?
Why are the Miami Heat not real?
Because Bam Adebayo is mates.
Oh, Tyler Hero.
Oh, my gosh.
Laughing about it with Jason Tatum at the ESPYs.
Apparently, and that's all fine and good. Willier Abreu went deep. Look at that. They've tied it up. There it is. Joe was celebrating, so I just wanted to figure out what that was right there. Hero and Bam got into it. Apparently, Tyler Hero. Here's a guy I really enjoyed watching. It's sarcasm, not always something you can tell through text. Maybe you can tell it right here. A guy I quite enjoyed watching the Celtics play against over the last, 6 or 7 years. But Bam, I guess, said he needed more help from his teammates. Tyler Hero took exception to that. He's punching dude. And then, Tyler Hero's response. This I thought was rich, Joe. You tell me how you feel about this. Need a sip of water. Hero said that something about he's coming to help the Bucks. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said something akin to, obviously, like this team is in transition. They just lost their greatest player ever. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played for and won a title, the first that the team ever won, for the Milwaukee Bucks. He literally changed basketball. They outlawed dunking for 10 years in college basketball because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a person who played for the Milwaukee Bucks and won a title there. Does recency bias in sports bother you? How these guys just, oh yeah, this guy's the greatest ever. This guy's trash. This guy has sold insurance in the offseason. He's trash. I'm telling you, man. Are they uneducated on the history of the game? You can just go. I went with my son for his birthday. We went to the Basketball Hall of Fame at Springfield. We learned all about it, Tyler Hero. Or is Tyler Hero just like a disciple of J.J. Redick in that he doesn't care and just thinks he's the smartest man in the room? And that their generation is just so much way better in their minds than any generation that came previous to them. I don't know, Joe. How do you feel about this? Does this bother you at all? It bothers me. I respect the history.
You got to respect the history, and he's obviously way off with his basis too. Again, and why is he fighting with Bam Adebayo? I feel like that's not a fight you want to pick if you're Tyler Hero.
Probably not. But I don't know. He just looking at him.
And even Tatum, you saw Tatum and Bam laughing at it at the ESPYs. Yeah. And, I feel bad for, Tyler Hero is, who knows what's going to happen to his career now. Oh, we got another homer.
We got another homer.
It's the Sean Sylver Red Sox.
That's the Bally's pick of the night. Yes. Oh, man. But, yeah, I don't know. That bothers me. Giannis Antetokounmpo, top, I don't know, 25, top 30 player of all time, and could move up, certainly. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, top 5 player, top 6 player, where do you want to put him? There's no argument. He's in the top 10. He's the greatest Buck ever. You just say that and we just forget all about Kareem. I'm sure, I'm sure I've said some things that were wrong before and you could take me to task for them, but it's just generally the NBA. Just nobody cares about anything that happened before LeBron was drafted. And it's sickening. And we'll get into LeBron. Maybe we'll get into LeBron next. Let's get a headline here. We'll come back at you. Sylver, Joe, Street Team Joe. Joe Murray, not here tonight. Obviously, this is his show. Skaz, hope he's enjoying whatever he's doing this evening. We got Chris as well. We're going to talk some movies. I'll let him school me a little bit. The Odyssey came out. I know some friends who are there right now for 3 hours of their night. 3 hours. You guys spent 3 hours with me. I mean, what would you rather? 3 hours with your butt plastered to the seat, can't go to the bathroom, or 3 hours with me? You choose. You make the call. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, we'll start at the top here. The Boston Red Sox in action against the Tampa Bay Rays over at Fenway Park in the second half of a doubleheader tonight. Home runs for Wilyer Abreu and Wilson Contreras have put the Sox on top by a 3-2 score. That one in the bottom of the first. They won 10-0 earlier in the day over the Rays. They've won 10 in a row and moved all the way into a wild card spot. At the Open Championship, Lucas Herbert, your leader, he shot a 62 today. Sam Burns also shot a 62 today. That is tied for the lowest round ever at a major tournament. But Herbert in the lead right now through 2 rounds of play. The World Cup third-place match between France and England is tomorrow. The final, Spain and Argentina, that will be on Sunday. And shout-out to the Norfolk 8U Red Team. A win tonight in Friendship League playoffs. The pitching staff, a combined 1 hitter in the 6-0 victory. Sports Up headlines are brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Watch the world's biggest matchups with 98.5 The Sports Hub. Details at 98.5thesportshub.com. Presented by Michelob Ultra, the official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026. I'm Sean Sylver, Boston Silver Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Next update at 8. You're spending your evening with this three-headed monster. Sean Sylver, Joe Ariano, and Chris DeSisto. In for Joe and Skaz on the Sports Hub till 10. They're lopping an hour off at this one because what could we possibly talk about on MLB All-Star Week? And, man, I have hosted some shows, certainly on Home Run Derby night. I've hosted some shows on the night of the All-Star game. I've hosted some shows on those dead nights after the All-Star game. Those are toughies. So I credit the people who've been in the chair this week, certainly. Now, at least tonight, we got some MLB action firing back up. Of course, we've had the World Cup this whole time. And, you did have some games. What, Wednesday, Thursday? I'm trying to remember my week now. Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday at like 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
I think they still did like $25 million, though. Like,
yeah.
each game, which is pretty good from the U.S. Like, that's pretty good. Like, at 3 p.m.?
Something, it's been something. Caleb Pongratz joining us in this coming hour at 8:20. And he's covering MLS and the Revs. He's working his tail off covering soccer. Spot Rack, one of the places he's at. And I bumped into Caleb. I think a lot of people got hip to Caleb like this week because he posted the picture of the Gillette Stadium turf coming up, or the grass coming up and going back to turf, which is just wild because, I didn't get there for a World Cup game, but I did get there for a couple legacy games, and they were playing on the grass, and it just looks so nice. And they got the sprinklers going out there; they were keeping it green all year. But yeah, Caleb will be joining. We'll talk a little World Cup next hour, 8:20. Talk a little bit second half Revs and just what's going on here. This, like Joe just said, 25 mil for these soccer games, pretty good. Want to stick NBA for a little bit here. Guys, is LeBron still a difference maker, do you feel, at this point? I mean, he couldn't win with Luka in L.A., but LeBron apparently is the golden goose, and we're all putting our summer on hold. It's decision 2026 now, 16 years after the original decision. LeBron's got a choice to make. What do you guys think?
This, Chris. Sean, I think as a third option we saw last year, LeBron and the Lakers, like he was pretty good, and that team was kind of firing on all cylinders when they had Luka and Reeves and LeBron. Towards the end of the season, they were on that hot streak, and obviously Luka and Reeves go down. We know Reeves struggle in the postseason. But I think as a third option, he could be a formidable threat and someone who would be valuable come postseason time. As you saw this past postseason, he still was able to carry the Lakers out of the first round with a relatively insufficient roster. So I think if he went to a team like Philly, I think would be really interesting because he's not relied upon for the whole season. I don't know if Miami has enough. Warriors certainly is interesting, but like they're older too. But you imagine him and Steph and Draymond and would be pretty cool. And Porzingis.
Sure, yeah. Not super. That's a nursing home team for
but
sure.
I think the obvious answer is like him going back to Cleveland. I don't think they have enough still to win it if you went back home.
Well, what would they be? They wouldn't necessarily be giving anything up, right? They'd just be making room for him. So it's him and Donovan Mitchell and those two bigs that they got there.
Yeah, I don't know what would happen with Harden because I think he's a free agent too right now.
So Harden, I guess Harden would have to go if that was the case. So you replace Harden with LeBron? I mean, yes, I would replace Harden with LeBron, but I guess you'd have to ask like how much of an upgrade is that? Plus the fact that, LeBron misses games. He doesn't miss a ton of games. I think his last couple of years he's been around 70, and then this year he had 60 games on the nose. But I don't know, Chris, what do you think? Jaylen Brown now in Philadelphia and LeBron joining him?
I think that
Trust the
Philly or
process.
Cleveland is honestly LeBron's best option. I agree with Joe. I think that he can be like a solid third option. And I think with Golden State, like him and Curry being paired up would be amazing. But I just don't think Golden State has enough around that to be able to do anything. And I think Cleveland has some. And yeah, they might have to get rid of Harden with the contract-wise, but LeBron could also take one for the team and sign a minimum with the Cavs so they could keep Harden, and then that would honestly be probably the best thing that he could do for Cleveland and for himself if he wanted to win a championship in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But then I think your best chance, though, is in Philly. You have the better supporting cast. You have Jaylen Brown. It absolutely kills my soul, but I would say Philly is his best option.
Yeah, I mean, given what you're talking about, him being a third banana somewhere, that just makes sense, right? I mean, he'd almost kind of be like a fourth banana because you've got Embiid, you've got Maxey, you've got Brown, and I guess he would slot in as the fourth guy. Do you feel like, I don't know, LeBron's not dumb. LeBron's all about LeBron. He's been all about his brand the entire time he's been in the NBA. Is this trust the process stuff? Is he trolling Philly? I would just love it if he was trolling Philly. I mean, everybody hates Philly fans. Like, just getting a couple of licks on him.
I could definitely see him trolling Philly. He also said the other day that his next team he already dropped clues about, and a couple of days ago he posted a picture of himself with like a bunch of Timberwolves emojis. So he's doing that. He's doing the Philly with trust the process. Steve Kerr the other day there was a video of him saying we already got LeBron.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like all over the place. It's LeBron. It's the decision all over again. So it's a spectacle. And he also said the other day, I think, that he thinks he can score 10 points a game or plus, or double digits per game till he's 65. And he did the math, like he explained it, like I need 2 out of 3 layups and like 2 free throws and I could do it. And he's not wrong. So him as the fourth option, like, I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to play till he's 65, but him as any option, he's going to take away attention, and I think the better cast you have around him, the better chances.
Like, he's still physically fit. He's not like the runaway train that he used to be, but he's like darn close. I mean, his numbers haven't. You see guys when they get to their late 30s, their percentages fall off. He's found ways to play and still be efficient, as he always has. I mean, what you just brought up, Chris, kind of makes me think, like, is he going to be the next Tom Brady, who's just like the quarterback to go the deepest, that we've seen? And so in this case, you've got, the basketball player who makes it to 45, which is extremely, there's been very few basketball players who've gone much past 40. Like Udonis Haslem would just hang around, rotting on the Miami bench. And then they just bring, his corpse, roll him out there. And Udonis Haslem is playing 5 minutes and he's still in the league. But LeBron, I wonder, right? Because his ego is such, as we noticed here, that everything is intentional and everything is brand-based, and he's just going to have his fun and get everybody talking about him. He would never want people to talk about him in a way where he is less than, right? So, like him hanging on and like if he starts to get crappy, like that would be a problem. But even though he doesn't really have any reason to other than just his ego, I could see this guy like hanging around.
Yeah, definitely. And I think too, like that's a big part of it is that he needs to be contributing and he needs to be contending. And that's why he didn't go to the New York Knicks, because he doesn't want to go to a championship winning team and potentially mess something up. And that's from Rich Paul, his agent, who has been very transparent. And I think he is definitely looking to win a championship this year. It seems like he wants to ride off into the sunset with a ring. He'll have 5, so it'll still be 1 less than Jordan. But with all the records and accomplishments and accolades, it will be pretty tough to argue for him. So I think the 65 thing was just a mess with people and like joke around. But he actually could do it, like realistically. I don't think he'll be contributing that much though at that age.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, there's been some wild stuff in the NBA. There was I was doing some research for something I wrote a good many years ago, but And you guys weren't around. In fact, I was not around at this time. But there was a point in 76ers history where Darryl Dawkins, Chocolate Thunder, like the great backboard-breaking center, the Philadelphia decided that he was not enough at center and that Dr. J wasn't going to get a ring unless they brought in, Hall of Famer Moses Malone. But there was a story where the owner of the 76ers had reached out to Wilt Chamberlain in the early 80s about a comeback. And at that point, Wilt would have been, I don't know, probably around 45 to 50 years old, right? But there was talk about it. And, Wilt was keeping in pretty good shape because he'd played some, pro volleyball after retiring from basketball. So, the fact it was in Sports Illustrated in, the early 80s, will Wilt make a comeback? So I'm always, it tickles something for me. The NBA player is going to play, super long and just, how long will they go? But in or out, Joe and Chris, we'll start with Chris. LeBron's farewell is next year.
I'm in on that. I think there is a small chance, but I'm in on it being his last year. Okay. I think that, especially if he gets with a championship caliber team and he wins a championship, he's done. He's riding off into the sunset, and the only thing you have is Jordan has one more ring, but I don't think that will be too much of an argument at the GOAT debate. And I think that's really what he's after is the GOAT debate, and he just needs one more ring. So if he wins a championship, it's done. He's over, and he'll ride off into the sunset, and you can't really blame him for that.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's got to get 6. He'll always be less than. He would never let himself be less than. I'm also out on it because I know how NBA retirement tours go. Unless you have a serious injury, like Charles Barkley, ripped his ACL or something, and unceremoniously, kind of had to be carried off. And I think he played a game after rehabbing his knee where they just let him get one more layup or something ridiculous like that. But Kobe, anybody who's worth their salt, they get a run in a retirement tour, right? KG, I feel did to some degree back in Minnesota. I feel like LeBron would have to get the retirement tour. He would have to say it from the outset. So unless he says it this summer, this is my last ride, this is right. Who did somebody have no, trying to think who called was it Kobe? What was Kobe's my last dance, I don't know. I don't know why I'm putting all this.
Yeah, we knew it was his last game.
All this gravel in my voice when I say, we're doing this. I don't know why I'm doing that.
He gave a whole year's notice.
He did, and I booed him vociferously at TD Garden in his last game.
Did he go off?
I don't recall. I was hammered. But I made sure that he knew how I felt about him winning the 2010 Finals MVP. And gave him the old Shaq line. Kobe, tell me how my, you know what. You can look that up. Let's break it here. Let's get some headlines. And let's talk a little World Cup. Because, guys, talking about the big things that are going on in sports right now, the freaking World Cup is in America. Who knows when it's going to come back? It's been great, and we finally reached the final weekend of this thing that has dominated our lives for the last 6 to 8 weeks here. I forget how long it's been. It's been a thrill ride. Sylver, Joe Ariano, Chris, we are here till 10 on the Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Building a fireplace, patio, walkway? Plymouth Quarries has 60 acres of products for you. Visit their Hingham location or PlymouthQuarries.com. Plymouth Quarries, excellence in stone since 1915.
Keep the celebration going all summer long with the original light beer, Miller Lite. Here's to 250 years, America. It's Miller time.
At M&T Bank, we're continuously working to provide value to our customers. Like Lou, the CEO of OOFOS, a revolutionary footwear brand.
I think the thing I like most about working with M&T Bank is knowing they care. They sincerely care about us as a company. It's not just about the business transaction. They personally care about our business and our success and would make decisions that go above and beyond to achieve that.
See what banking together can do for you at mtb.com/together. Member FDIC.
Chevy.
Shift into summer and make it McMulkin Chevrolet in Canopy Lake Park for the best rides of 2026. Purchase a new Chevrolet and ask how to score a free family 4-pack of tickets. Your pass to over 85 rides, games, shows, and attractions. Together, let's drive. www.mcmulkin.net. Purchase or New Hampshire lease of a Chevrolet. See the dealer for complete details. Excludes Corvette. Offer ends 7.
All right, so if that little sample of that song didn't knock you unconscious, I know Norway's out, but this has been this was discovered by my son at a birthday party recently. I guess one of the kids that he's friends with was like, hey, you got to play the Holland song. And, of course, one of the big stars for Norway and, just in this tournament in general, World Cup fever affecting the young folks. And every day since then, we get in the truck, Dad, can we play the Holland song? We're playing it going to summer camp. We're playing it going to baseball. We're playing it going to the grocery store. Hey, man, that's part of this, what happens with this tournament. It gets under your skin, and I mean in a good way. Like, Joe, do you just, I don't know, all the rest of the time in between World Cups, like Rev season, like, are you a big soccer guy?
I'm not a big soccer guy, but the World Cup has drawn me in.
Yeah.
And it's I'm like gonna miss it, right? Like when it's
totally.
over.
I'm even kind of bummed out, like just the last.
Yeah, the games aren't on.
Yeah, you don't have games every day. You don't have games at multiple times. It's and yeah, the France-Spain game, like it was getting hyped for that the other day, and then obviously the freaking England-Argentina game, like holy crap, that like started out very competitive and testy, and England takes the lead. that toxic British fan or English fan base is thinking it's coming home. It's coming home. And then Argentina, who I know a lot of people who do not like Argentina, but to their credit, they popped a couple in there, and just like Messi obviously involved. Like all of the stars that you came to see have been involved in the big plays, right? It's been poetic, and it's been amazing in a way. Like when the World Cup was here in '94, I was young. I was like 11, and it didn't really grip me. I don't know why. I don't really know why. Was I like at a certain summer camp, or was I, what was I doing where it didn't get me? But I know that '94 World Cup was big for soccer in America, and you birthed the MLS, a couple years later. And then the Women's World Cup in '99 in the United States birthed the growth of the women's game. And I just kind of wonder, like, where are we going to next? We've got a whole generation of kids who are obsessed with this thing. And I'll tell you what, like, for me, I went from that '94 World Cup and kind of knowing, like, oh, yeah, that was cool. USA got through to the knockout round. They played valiantly against Brazil. Then by '98, I was like, I'm in. There are storylines I want to follow. This thing's in France. There's all these cool European teams, and Brazil, obviously, world power, like Ronaldo, like that Ronaldo was playing back then. And then by '02, the USA did well in that World Cup, but they took it over to Asia, and the time was all messed up, and I didn't watch any of it. So having a World Cup on your home turf is just so good. Just so good for engagement, for everything, like the local engagement we've had. The Scots, like can't get enough stories about those guys. Usually you have like this cute thing, and then you get tired of hearing about it. I don't think a bad word was said about the Scots, despite the fact that it was just, look, Scottish fans are doing this today. Scottish fans are doing that today. I saw a Scottish guy walking to work at 7:30 in the morning. He's got his full regalia on, walking through Boston Common, and I'm just like, damn, all right, cool. Live it, breathe it, let's go. I mean, the little nations and the underdogs getting some shine. I mean, this is just, it's really had, even though I know like this isn't the cup of tea sport, for your meat and potatoes, Boston sports fans, right? We're not going to be talking about World Cup, on the air a whole lot. And once the World Cup passes by, are we going to be talking soccer on the air a whole ton? Probably not. It's just not something that happens around here. But I kind of live for the fact that not that the game has risen to us, but the game has been presented to us in a way that we can like rise and join it and be on the world stage. And it doesn't really matter, that Team USA, there were some people like, oh man, hey, they could have a chance. You kind of knew how it was going to happen. But regardless of how the home team did, we've just been along on this ride with the rest of the world, and it's been super cool. And I just kind of wonder, where it goes from there. And I wonder, has soccer peaked in America? Because clearly, everybody's playing it. The national team just doesn't get, the women's national team gets all the results, right? But the men's national team just doesn't. We've got millions of kids that are playing it here. And yet, for whatever reason, the United States can just never break through. It's okay. No matter. It's been fun. Greatly enjoyed myself. We had, 7 games locally here in Massachusetts, and hopefully a whole lot of memories for folks. It's been a lot of fun. And a lot of fun watching those British talk show guys the other day. Matt McCarthy introduced me to the British talk show guys, and it just, oh, man. Another favorite thing for me is, and this is pursuant to the finals matchup that we have on Sunday. So, have you seen the photo of Messi and Lamine Yamal?
I have seen. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So,
how old is he now? Too? Is he 19?
He's 19. Yeah. Right? So when he was a baby, his parents entered him in this thing where you could take baby pictures with famous soccer players and be in some sort of calendar. And there's a picture of probably 20-year-old Messi, clean shaven, long hair, that Messi in a soccer jersey, bathing essentially Lamine Yamal. And here they are. Name a sport where that could potentially happen, right? And I get it, like LeBron and Bronny,
AJ Brown and Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's always been a thing, right? Oh, man.
I don't know if it's AI or not, but
right.
AJ Brown did post pictures of him as a toddler in Brady gear.
And I get it. And I guess AI can do anything now, which is, I saw it on The Athletic. I got the Athletic daily newsletter, and I was just like, wait a minute. All right, this is in The Athletic, so I'm pretty sure they didn't get, there's no brown check mark here. 617-779-0985. Going to talk some more soccer coming up. Caleb Pongratz joining the show here. Sean Sylver in for Joe Murray. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
This is Jeffrey Glassman of Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. When you're hurt in a car crash or on the job, we fight big insurance companies to make sure you get the money you deserve. Call 617-777-7777 or visit GottaGetGlassman.com.
It's Beetle from iRam Dealer, 495 Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Lowell. Right now, during the Make This the Summer sales event, save up to $18,000 on new Ram 1500 Bighorn, Laramie, and limited models. Plus a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Visit 495ram.com.
If you love live music and entertainment, shouldn't you have the debit or credit card that offers exclusive perks? As a Citizens debit or credit card holder, you get access to pre-sale tickets and skip-the-line entry at some of Boston's best venues, and more. Your Citizens debit or credit card is your VIP pass to the hottest tickets and venues in town. Citizens, your live entertainment partner in Boston. Learn more at citizensbanklive.com. Again, that's citizensbanklive.com. Member FDIC.
Coleman,
It's electric. You go see a podiatrist. He tells you he's also a neurologist, so he can treat you from head to toe. But now you're walking with a limp and drooling out of the corner of your mouth. Yeah, that's the thing with specialists. If you have more than one specialty, you might not be that special at any. Coleman, we only have one specialty. It's electric. Right, but we're up against outfits that do plumbing, heating, cooling, sewer drain cleaning, and electric. Not sure what their specialty is, but we don't think it's electric because they always put it last. Just saying, at Coleman, we put electric first. In fact, we put it right after our name. Coleman Electric. That way we're never confused with the plumber. I mean, we love our plumber friends, but you don't want to be mixing toilets with electricity. Could end up like a scene from the Green Mile. Not good. No, when you got to shorten your circuit, call the specialist at Coleman Electric, and we'll be at your house in the flick of a switch. And if the switch is broken, we'll be there quicker. Kuhlman. Coleman, what is it? It's electric. Right.
Car shopping just got wicked easy. The McGovern Ford Sign and Drive Summer Sales event is on now at all McGovern Ford locations in Beverly, Framingham, Lowell, and Saugus. It's simple to get into a brand new Ford with 0 down payment and 0 first month's payment. That's right, absolutely nothing down, and your first month is on McGovern Ford. Just sign and drive. Visit McGovernFord.com to check out the latest lease payments on Bronco Sport or Maverick under $500 per month. That's McGovernFord.com.
Offers available to qualified buyers on select models with approved credit. Tax, title, doc fee, and license extra. See dealer for complete details and soon.
For the best deal on any name brand tire, get to Town Fair Tire. For the guaranteed lowest price and the most free services, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And you know, I mean nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Unlock simple, effective advertising with a seamless multi-platform strategy. Combine radio, streaming audio, and digital solutions for results that matter. Focus on your business. We handle the rest. Visit 985thesportshub.com/advertise.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
The Make This the Summer event is going on now at 495 Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Lowell. Save up to $18,000 on new 1500 Bighorn, Laramie, and limited models, plus a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Visit 495ram.com.
Felger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
We have invaded the kingdom tonight. Sean Sylver. Well, Street Team Joe, I mean, he's a welcome guest in the kingdom. Some may even say that he is an owner of property in this kingdom here.
Well, I've never heard Joe Murray speak of anyone as highly as you, Mr. Sylver, so I think you're in that group as well.
Well, hey, I mean, Joe Murray's good people. So to be called good people by Joe Murray, I mean, the Macho Man said earlier, the enemy of my friend is also my enemy, right? To be the friend of a friend. You know, it's pretty good here. Oh, we got some wrestling going on. We got some Red Sox going on. But I'm sticking with the soccer theme. I think it is only appropriate as we're hitting the end of World Cup season. It has taken America and North America as a whole, Canada and Mexico, by storm over the last couple of months here, and it's been a wild whirlwind. We're at the end of it. One more opportunity, I think, to just let it out there about the World Cup, and maybe a little Revs talk, too, with Caleb Pongratz. He's got MLS contact for Spot Rack, for Prost International. Caleb, how's it feel to go viral this week? And welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys? You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm hearing you great.
Perfect. Yeah, it's been a crazy week to say it clearly. Obviously, it's great that the game of soccer is definitely growing in New England, and obviously trending this week was not on my bucket list, but kind of happy that it went that way, and happy that I'm obviously here talking soccer now.
Yeah, for sure. You just kind of take it as it comes, right? Appreciate you jumping on with us here on a Friday night. And, we've had a couple of matchups this week that, I don't know, the events that were put forth at the World Cup may have, surprised some people. Maybe it didn't surprise some others. But after seeing what we saw with the Spain game and with the Argentina comeback, how are you feeling about this final coming up on Sunday?
Yeah, this final is going to be an amazing match. Obviously, Spain facing off against the defending champions Argentina in the final. And despite Argentina entering the match as the reigning champion, they are entering the match as an underdog. This Spanish team is a side that's impressed throughout the competition. They've been on an unbelievable record, tying match unbeaten streak. I believe it's at 37 matches right now. Yeah. So this Spain team is absolutely rolling. Obviously, they don't have Lionel Messi as Argentina does, but it's going to be a thrilling contest this weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Argentina's almost kind of had the old proverbial rabbit's foot with reading a stat here. 9 of their goals have come in the 79th minute or later, whereas Spain has just kind of been that machine. So really intriguing matchup. Even though I think a lot of people would have loved to see Mbappe and France get through, the star wattage, certainly something there, but Spain just kind of that team approach has really done them well.
Yeah, when Spain faced off against France on Tuesday, they really suffocated them and kind of took them completely out of the game. I think they dominated majority of the match. Obviously, shots were about 4-2. Possession was dead even, but France had nothing going forward. And This Spanish team just is full of dogs, to be honest with you. It's a lot of really talented players. And I'll be honest as well, there's players that are in this lineup that arguably there's players on the Spanish bench that are better than the players that are starting. So it's a really talented team, and it's done wonders that the coaching of Luis de la Fuente has obviously done its work, and there's no reason why they wouldn't be in the final.
Yeah, I think Spain fans a lot happier with their coaching situation than perhaps England fans. We've had a lot of fun locally and certainly throughout North America with this tournament. I think there were just some people who were ready for this. It's the World Cup has been very much embraced around here, and just good stories all around. And I'll kind of put you on the spot. I mean, up and down this tournament, from some of the underdogs and the showings that they made to the superstars producing in big moments. If you could pick a couple of stories, or storylines that we've seen through the tournament that have just really stuck with you, things that you'll be taking with you from the 2026 World Cup, what are some of the better memories that you have from this experience?
Yeah, I think obviously the biggest one is Cabo Verde. Obviously, they are the smallest nation within this tournament, and they had a tournament to remember. They have 40-year-old Vozinha in net, and he was literally a rock throughout the tournament. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he, even though he is 40, I wouldn't be shocked if he gets a move to a potentially a good team. There were rumors circulating that he is potentially heading to Inter Miami in MLS to play with Messi, which would be pretty insane. But again, looking at this Cabo Verde side, they tied Spain, they tied Uruguay, they tied Saudi Arabia, and they took Argentina to literally, I'll say, the depths of hell at this point. Game went to extra time, and Argentina had to pull it away from them with some goals late.
Yeah, as has been the case with Argentina here. Just like I said, kind of having that rabbit's foot. Even when they're the favorites, sometimes they need to dig deep to pull it out. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your opinions on Team USA's effort. Obviously, it started with a great deal of promise, went out with a whimper. There was some other stuff clearly that went on. I mean, the highest finish for this team remains 1930, right? The first World Cup.
Yeah,
and that's been the standard for all of these years. And with the degree that soccer has progressed in this country, I mean, to you, what's it going to take to break through here as a national program?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of difficult. I was on WGBH prior to the World Cup starting, and I was actually asked a similar question, what I think is a realistic finish for the United States or realistic expectation. And I flat out said round of 16. And I knew that going off of this bracket, if we won the group, the U.S. would be facing a hard opponent, likely Belgium, and obviously that's who they ended up facing. They were completely played off the pitch in that game. And I think some of it has to do with coaching, but at the same time, some of it has to do with the players that played on the pitch. I also said on that same taping with WGVH that I think this team still needs 20 years to be one of those semifinalists in the World Cup. And it's not a negative thing. I think, again, MLS is only 30, 31 years old in comparison to leagues in England, leagues in Spain, leagues in Italy that have been around since the early 1900s. So obviously we're still playing catch up, and I'd be remiss at comparing it, but the U.S. doesn't have a 6'5" Erling Haaland because our 6'5" Erling Haaland is playing Division II basketball in college. That's just the reality of it. So this U.S. squad, obviously this one's going to sting, losing to Belgium again in a knockout round match. Obviously in 2014 they lost to Belgium as well, 2-1 that time, but yeah, this one stings, and I think it stings more for those veteran players like Christian Pulisic, players like Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, who I would say are, when they come into the 2030 World Cup, or potentially if the U.S. makes it to that, the expectation is they do, but they'll be in their mid to late 30s, or mid to early 30s, sorry. Yeah. Weston McKennie should be 30, 31, 32. Pulisic, same spot. Tyler Adams, same spot. And then you look at the goalie situation, Matt Freese, who I would arguably say had a poor tournament, he'll be 31. Matt Turner, the other goalkeeper, the Reds goalkeeper, he played in one match for the tournament. Matt Turner as well, not getting much younger. I believe he'll be 35 in the next tournament, 36. Yeah. So a lot of aging vets. Same with Tim Ream, our center back for the tournament, was 38 years old. So I think this team needs a little bit of a culture shock. They have a couple of plug-in players that they can build and revolve around, but I think they still need time. And I think with the landscape that this World Cup is going to do and what it's brung to the United States, it's going to improve. This tournament expanded to 48 teams. Yeah. Several records are broken. More than 8 million spectators attended matches. There were records for single-day attendance, the highest overall goal tally in the tournament. These are just things that the U.S. are breaking, and the attention's obviously getting there. But what we need to see for me as a journalist, but also as a fan of the sport, this tournament needs to have a major long-term impact on not just Major League Soccer, but also the USL League USL League One, USL Championship, youth soccer as a whole, grassroots level, everything. There needs to be a focus. And obviously commercial growth here has also been a major focus. The World Cup demonstrated obviously the value of the American market to the global soccer industry. And we've seen already in this summer transfer window for MLS teams, lots of teams have gotten big name players. Antoine Griezmann going to Orlando City, Robert Lewandowski going to Chicago Fire, Alan St. Maximin going to Charlotte FC. Big name players are coming to this league. Yes, some of them are in the latter stages of their career, but this just opens the eyes of our league, MLS, to the rest of the world, and more players are hearing about this league, and more players, as well as fans, are talking about this league.
Yeah, and you mentioned some of the things that are going on in MLS. I mean, and I mentioned I'm a soccer appreciator more than a diehard, but I got tickets to the Legacy, and I know that the Legacy took a rest. The Revs, a lengthy break, obviously through this tournament. They're about to get their stadium back. They had some momentum this spring. What are some key storylines locally here around this Revs team as we look to, scratch that soccer itch by heading back to Gillette to support the local squad?
Yeah, for sure. New England Revolution currently are in 4th place in the Eastern Conference. Right now, they're a team that hasn't made the playoffs in the last 2 seasons, so their expectation is that they finish the year out strong, and the hope for many fans is that they can host a home playoff game. So they need to finish within the top 4 within their respective conference. But at the same time, this team is facing a couple of problems. Obviously, injuries have plagued the team for a while. The squad is currently dealing with several key absences. Most recently, right back Eli Feingold. Sources told me that he underwent ankle surgery, and Chris Tierney, the team's CSO, then confirmed that he did undergo surgery and he's going to be sidelined for 2 to 4 weeks. And then additionally for Leo Campana, he's currently on a TAM contract and is the 3rd highest paid player on the team. He's just played 110 minutes this year. He's got 1 goal because he's been dealing with a slew of injuries. I believe it's a hamstring injury. And again, we were told on, I believe, Monday or Tuesday that he's not ready yet and he's expected to return in 3 to 4 weeks. So this team has a couple of key players that need to get healthy. However, New England is also, like many other teams, entering a crucial summer transfer window. The club recently reacquired Matt Turner, as I mentioned a little earlier. Matt Turner was on loan from Olympic Lyon. Yeah. They have now extended this loan through this season with the option to extend. And if it is extended, he has a $1.2 million euro release clause, which is much cheaper than, I believe it was 3.2 or 3.4 million was the release clause that the Revs could have signed on June 30th. So great deal by CSO Chris Tierney there. And additionally, they added a defender, Cody Baker, on loan from Seattle, who also has a purchase option. He's another player that will come in and fill in that Feingold injury. With Feingold out, Baker will be a player that could slot in there. And then some additional moves. The Revs loaned Malcolm Fry to Lexington Sporting Club. And then obviously earlier today, they exercised the purchase option in Marcos Zambrano's loan agreement. So now he is a permanent Revs player from Real Salt Lake. So the Revs are clearly making moves. Sporting director Chris Tierney, CSO Chris Tierney, had indicated that the Revs are looking to make 1 or 2 additional acquisitions during the summer transfer window, and that's potentially including a designated player. Adding another forward is the current priority based on Campana's extended absence. And if I'm not mistaken as well, the Revs had one of the top 4 defenses or top 10 defenses in the league within the first half of the MLS season. So right now, the inkling is that they're looking for a forward. The club had recently been linked with Jack Harrison. Seth Maycomber of the Blazing Musket was the first to report that. He's a player that has a history in MLS, but has also played overseas. He played for Man City, Leeds, Everton, recently was on loan in Fiorentina. But again, this New England team needs to strengthen its roster if it hopes to remain competitive in the East. That has significantly improved over this summer break, World Cup break, and are going to continue to improve as the games start back up.
Yeah, a lot of rumblings, a lot of stuff going on for the Revs, some new faces even, but that all gets going real quick. When's their first game? Is it this weekend?
It is Wednesday. The Revs come back on Wednesday against Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. And then on Saturday, Toronto on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. It's a home game. And then on Saturday, the Revs host Atlanta United. So two teams that are on the bottom portion of the Eastern Conference. Toronto currently in 12th. Atlanta is actively playing in a game right now, but they are 14th as well. So two of the teams that are on the bottom portion of the standings. And then their next match is away August 1st in Montreal, another team below them in the standings. They're in 11th. And recently just let go of their coach. So Philippe Elefroy is finishing out the season for them. So three very winnable games for the Revs. The hope, obviously, is that they can build off of the World Cup momentum and obviously use this enormous exposure and turn it into not only short-term but long-term exposure that will leave a very big lasting impact on not only the league itself, but the team itself within its attendance, merchandise sales, and much, much more.
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to be wanting to get out there in the second half. And 3 winnable games, certainly appealing. Of course, the MLS All-Star game thrown in there as well, so a lot of action as soccer gets back brewing around here in New England following this World Cup final on Sunday. Caleb Pongratz, appreciate you joining us. Where can folks find you on social media if they want to get up to speed with your soccer coverage?
Sure. You can find all of my articles at prostinternational.com, or you can find them at spottrack.com. I also serve as the lead MLS content and data writer for SpotTrack as a contributor. And then for my day-to-day reporting, whether that's injuries, transfer news, Boston sports, everything like that, you can find it at Caleb Pongratz 10 on X, or formerly known as Twitter. Yep. And that's CalebPongratz10 on X. I'm also on Blue Sky at Caleb Pongratz. So very active on social media, very active on talking soccer in New England, and hoping to grow the beautiful game a lot more as the year progresses.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on with us. Enjoy talking soccer with you. And I'll tell you, you mentioned, the Team USA needing about 20 years here. I know an 8-year-old whose dad is 6'4" and is hosting a radio show in Boston right now, who might grow into that frame, and he really likes soccer. So we'll see if Will Sylver is that 6'5" Erling Haaland type in the future. Obviously a long shot, but we'll give it a go. Caleb, thanks for joining us. Have a nice rest of your evening.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Take it easy. All right. Caleb Pongratz joining, just a wealth of information on soccer. And it's important. If you dug this, right, if you enjoyed this, and obviously it's the international teams, hey, you can keep up your soccer fix. The Revs have been playing very well. They've got a chance to keep doing so. And the Legacy have been great, too. The Legacy's a great take. They're playing down in Rhode Island during this FIFA break here, but they'll be back up to Gillette later this summer as well. 617-779-0985. You want to jump on with us. Got some Celtics thoughts on the other side of this. We got some in or out coming up as well. Would love to have you join us. Sean Sylver here till 10 on the Sports Hub for Joe Murray.
Sports Hub headlines.
It was fantastic. They painted their faces. They had a great time. They wore kilts. They danced. Whatever it was.
That's cool. And what a thing to be able to share. As a family.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of really cool stories like that coming out of this. I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss this little time. I'm gonna miss the World Cup. I'm gonna miss Tenka. Hopefully, I won't be missing you, Andy. Though. Hopefully, we'll find a way to.
We'll do it again, Sean. Yeah. We'll do it again.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to
right, Joe.
I'll leave it up to Joe to be the planner here.
We'll always find room for my ties. We'll find a new place.
There it is.
Fantastic!
There it is.
Fantastic.
Andy, thanks for the call. I hope you have a great weekend.
All right, I love you, bros. All right, take care.
Take care, Andy in Westboro. Good stuff. Good-natured phone call. John in Scituate has a Patriots call, and I'm sorry, John. We've been talking so much soccer. I wonder if John is still there. Let's see if John's still on. Appreciate you holding. John, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys? No worries. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. Yeah, I'm getting a little sick of the stocks and soccer talk, but no worries.
Okay, hey, I don't want to make you sick here. Not like a
everyone's talking about the Pats wide receivers, but honestly, I'm more focused on the running backs this year.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about Ramondre Stevenson. Like, we're paying him $9 million a year, I think. He fumbled 3 times last year. I just want to know if that happens again, if you guys think there'll be a little switch, maybe try to get in some of the rookies this year. I really think we're missing the Shane Vereen, James White type of Dion Lewis back, and I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate the call, John. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but I like Ramondre. I'm certainly grateful for what he brings to the table, and he's been a clutch guy for them at times. I mean, they've really been able to rely on him. On the other hand, you have the history of the fumbles, and really what I hear is, okay, well, is there going to be a point where Travion Henderson makes the leap, right, and is maybe not their every down back, but their primary guy? We've seen a bit more of a timeshare this year. I just, I don't really know. It's interesting to consider, the upgrades to the receiving core, and will that open things up because the defense will be focusing on A.J. Brown a little bit, and maybe that opens up a little more stuff, in between the tackles. I don't know. Who's the guy they brought in? Didn't they bring in this fullback from the Giants for some decent money? I can't tell you whether or not I know anything about fullbacks and something Gilliam or whatever from the Giants. Is that his name?
Yeah, Reggie Gilliam.
Reggie Gilliam. There we go.
I believe he was from the Buffalo Bills, I believe.
Oh, from the Bills.
But
okay.
So we have Jennings is in there from last year. We have Bam we drafted from Alabama.
Bam Morris? No. Bam from Bama.
Yeah, Bam from Bama. Yeah, I mean, I think the Patriots are pretty good at running back. Wouldn't you say? I feel like that's one of the better positions that we have. I know fumbling was an issue last year with Ramondre, but I think Henderson's due to take a big leap. And then I like Jennings in the backfield that we got a rookie coming in.
Yeah.
Larson's back there. I think Land Larson, who is some Joe Murray favorite. So I think that room is plenty good. I guess we don't have that pass catching guy, but that's what.
Right. No Shane Vereen type. But I mean, really how many teams do have that great pass catching back? You just kind of, in most applications, you work with what you've got. The Patriots were able to make what they've got work last year. I kind of wonder a little bit about, I don't know, guys, is this crazy? Like, he's still out there. Steph Diggs coming back. Again, not a pass catching running back, but a guy who adds that dimensionality to your offense. And last year was super, super efficient. So you wouldn't have to go to him a whole lot for him to be effective. And again, fills a different role on the field from the Booty, who they're thinking of dealing, and obviously Brown and Dobbs and the stuff that they do. But I don't know. Would you be in or out? I know we're not doing in or out technically here, but would you be in or out on a Steph Diggs reunion to just, again, give some more dimensionality to the offense?
Yeah, I think Barth actually mentioned yesterday that he was in on a Stephon Diggs reunion coming up
if
here.
If Barth is in,
so if he's in, then yeah, it's a good sign to agree with Barth, and usually you'll be right.
Yep.
So I think our wide receiver room would be wildly entertaining if we had AJ Diggs and Romeo Dobbs, and now you're talking. Get Kyle Williams out there, Booty. You probably have to trade someone.
Got to trade somebody.
Yeah, but that's a wide if Drake May had a good year and those guys, those guys were productive. I mean, instantly you're talking about a top receiving room, right? With Diggs and
you can make if you can make Mac Hollins do what he did last year. I mean, imagine you can do with the rest of these guys. Not necessarily a slight on Mac Hollins, but he kind of is what he is, and he played above his head. And the quarterback ranking for Drake May. Did you see that article that came out where he places? Did they say it was number 8?
Yeah, number 8
behind Dakota Prescott.
Yeah, behind Dak, and I think the questionable ones were Dak and Justin Herbert.
And I mean, obviously those guys had the veteran angle, but anytime you're talking about a guy who was an MVP candidate, where did Stafford come in that? Was he?
Stafford, I believe, was 1 or 2. Yeah, right. Him and Mahomes were right up there. I think Burrow, Lamar rounded out the top 5, and Josh Allen.
It's funny how Stafford, was so discounted before last year, and then just wound up having a renaissance season. Obviously, with those super great receivers, healthy and productive helps. But yeah, this guy was in an MVP conversation, and you're sticking him behind Dak Prescott. Like, I know Dak Prescott's put up some numbers for a bunch of years, but he in his whole career hasn't shown what Drake May showed last year. So, I mean, it's like any and all things that get released into social media lists, right, that pundits are making, and they leave off Patriots because they're just trying to tweak. And certain fan bases are, let's face it, tweakable. Like LeBron James saying, trust the process. Let's get the Sixers fans hooting and hollering, and then pull the rug out from them from under them at the end, because it's just fun to do that. With Philly fans, fun to tweak us here in Boston as well. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I feel like this team is centered in a way that they're just going to go out there and do their jobs. And this is something that, like Perillo was talking about this morning on the morning show. This is the case where I forget if, I don't know, probably a lot of people have made this point. Maybe it was Wallach who made the point. Give Wallach a shout, because I think Wallach made the point, and it's probably not an original thought, but it was just a good point. This team could be better, and this team could not win as many games, despite being better. And that's just the reality here. But the getting into the dance, I think, is the main objective here. And then in the playoffs, you'll just see what happens, because you're not going to put up the kind of record that you did last year. But remains to be seen. 617-779-0985. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little bit of in and out coming up next on the Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Nobody knows New England like McGovern Auto Group. With over 35 locations, 25 brands, and more than 9,000 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock. Shop.
Preris has gone yard. Wilyer Abreu has gone yard. That game right now in the sixth inning, bottom of the sixth. Okay. I'm seeing end sixth on my computer, so that must mean that what we're seeing on TV, yeah, he struck him out. Okay, so it's the bottom of the sixth. It's tough. The text is very small. At the Open Championship, we had a record-setting day. Sam Burns and Lucas Herbert both shot a 62, which is tied for the lowest round ever at a major championship. But it is Herbert who is out in front of the leaderboard right now, headed into round 3 play. And finally, a shout-out to the Norfolk 8U Red team. A win tonight in Friendship League playoffs. Pitching staff, a combined one-hitter and a 6-0 win. A shout to them for a job well done. Sports Hub headlines brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Watch the world's biggest matchups with 98.5 The Sports Hub. Details at 98.5thesportshub.com. Presented by Michelob Ultra, the official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026. I'm Sean Sylver, Boston's Home for Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Next update, 9:30.
Are you actually coaching the game, or it's just that is? I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
The Sports.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
Office or whatever. So they have confirmed that it was Sandler. Like, would the Nantucket police station know, like, what his cell phone number is? Like, I still don't know if I believe this is Adam Sandler.
So I did send a video. It was a TikTok, so I don't know if you have access to TikTok.
No.
Unless it was some really convincing AI, they did release the phone call of Adam
I heard
Sandler.
this. So
it could be AI, but doesn't it?
Somebody.
It sounds pretty much like Adam Sandler, no?
But I mean, a lot of stuff sounds like a lot of stuff. I heard an ad earlier this evening on our airwaves. I forget. I'm not going to say who it was because I'm not going to drag the sponsor or anything. But there was an ad, and I was just like, that doesn't sound like a real human doing this read. That sounds like AI, and I would totally believe it if it is. And I would say to anyone out there who's using AI for ad reads, phooey on you, and also to Ryan Seacrest for literally advertising everything that's out there. Ryan Seacrest, you do not need to be doing ad reads for Shaw's. You have enough. Give some scraps to the rest of us. I mean, I do the Shaw's reads for the Celtics games. Maybe Shaw's could call me up. I'd do a great read. You don't need Ryan Who likes Ryan Seacrest? That's just anything. That's an aside. But as far as...
It's crazy he's still going.
Yeah, come on.
Even Billy Bush is done.
Right? As far as Adam Sandler, though, okay, so I don't 100% believe it is him. And also, I had heard that like this wasn't the 911 line. He didn't call 911 looking for a court, but he called like public safety. So I feel like it's a step down from being like 911. I have an emergency. I got to play ball. Either way, it would be a pretty cool flex if it was real. I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. I can't believe anything that's out there.
I feel like calling that line makes it even better because it's the responsible choice. Like he's not taking away from like an actual real emergency.
Exactly. And the guy who was there was like, he gave a big sigh. He was just like, let me think. I think there's some courts over there by such and such. And it was just like, that's the kind of, excuse me, as I'm eating my grapes, and I just spit a piece of grape on the microphone. That's, it's rule number 1 against me. But grapes are healthy, and I need them to keep going on these late nights of Joe Show. But you're a public employee, and you're bored at your job, and you're just there to keep things going in town, and you get a phone call, and you're just like, I haven't thought about basketball courts in a little bit. Let me think. Let me go into the recesses of my brain and get you a good answer. So good, hey, it's all good. The guy had some time. He's just sitting there, man, in the hotline. He wasn't out there like paving over potholes or anything. He had your back.
All I can think of now is that Adam Sandler Hustle movie that Chris just talked about. Yeah. How good Hernan Gomez.
No, he looked so
good.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's like, dude, we have him on the Celtics. Let's go. Yeah, I was so amped because wasn't he wearing a Celtics jersey at the end too?
Yeah, he's on the Celtics. He's like playing for them. I forget which team he's playing. He might be playing the Sixers in it too.
Yeah,
which makes it even funnier now.
He goes toe to toe with Anthony Edwards and like practice eventually too. And you're like, oh. Do we find the next guy?
What was his name in that movie? Bo something?
Yeah, Bo. Chris, could you pull that?
It was like a short
Bo
name.
something.
Like Bo Nix, Bo Diaz, I don't know. But either way, I hope now that there aren't like copycat things where people are coming up with AI of celebrities and calling like cities and towns to ask dumb questions, because that's totally something that we would do here in our society.
All right, we'll stay in the world of movies, gentlemen. Let's see here. All right. A new Jason Bourne movie is coming out, Matt Damon says. I know you guys haven't seen all the Jason Bournes.
Yes.
But, a new one's going to be released. It's probably going to look pretty good. And who can deny Matt Damon? Are you gentlemen in or out on a new Jason Bourne movie?
Chris, the movie guy, let's start with you.
All right. I am unfortunately out on this. The Jason Bourne movies are great, and I saw Matt Damon talk about it, and he said they'll only do it if the story is right and how it needs to connect to the previous movies and everything, and that's great. But I just saw The Odyssey last night, and Matt Damon, you're winning an Oscar. And if you're winning an Oscar and the next movie you're doing is Jason Bourne, I'm just going to be very disappointed because he should be... The Odyssey put him into such an upper category that Jason Bourne is in the past, man. Like that's what you did to get to this point. I feel like just keep doing the Oscar-winning movies like The Odyssey. Him in The Odyssey was just breathtaking. He was amazing in it. So I don't want to see him. It's not lowering himself, but I don't want to see him do another Jason Bourne movie.
That's a good take. No notes. I mean, honestly, no notes. I mean, maybe the one thing I would say, I guess, is just, do we need this?
Yeah.
Do we need this, right? And the only way is it, like, I know Stallone did franchises where it was just on and on with Rocky and Rambo, and he kept surprising us, but, like, do we need this? Because there's a lot of movies where they're just mining the same old thing, and it's like, we didn't need that, but it happened, and a bunch of people saw it, and whoever was involved with it got paid. Does Damon need this? Does anybody need this? No. So, great response. I'm with that.
All right, gentlemen, we'll move on here. RG3 took a shot at the Commanders today. Granted, it was kind of a joke, but he was insinuating that the Commanders kind of ran him into the ground in 2012 on social media. saying they made him play on one leg against the Seahawks, and we all know the rest of what happened there. And his career took a sharp downfall after such a promising start. Are you gentlemen in or out on the fact that the Commanders did not use RG3 properly and blew that situation?
I'm going to just give a Joe Murray quote here and I can't stand this damn parade. Who cares? Who cares? RG3? Like, I know I talk about some archaic, like, obscure stuff from the past because, I'm obsessed with little pockets of memory of sports and stuff that happened, and I want to mine it. I think that we've really said all that we could say about Robert Griffin's tenure with the Washington Commanders back then. Like, it was all said back then. Everybody agreed that that's what happened. Why is he bringing this up again? Like, does he need help staying relevant? Why don't you go and star in a Jason Bourne movie, RG3? There you go. There's your way. You can take over for Matt Damon. See how it goes. Have fun. There's the keys.
I agree. I feel like this is just for him to stay relevant. Like, this is just for him to get back into the conversation because, I mean, if you are going to talk about RG3 and you're going to talk about his career, you're going to be talking about that Seahawks game and you're going to be talking about how they forced him. And, I mean, if it's true, I do think it's true. I'll never forget him falling down and just seeing his knee go in and out and you knew right then and there his career was done just because they were running him to the ground. But like you said, it's just for him to stay relevant. We talked about it when it happened, talked about a year after, 5 years. There's no reason to still be talking about it. We all know. And if there's going to be anything, then it's too far out to have consequences for the Commanders. So, like, it just shouldn't be talked about. Honestly, it's trying to stay relevant.
It's
island of relevancy.
Spilt milk and it's smelly.
Do you think they could fall into a similar trap with Jaden Daniels? Kind of last year was a little sketchy too, wouldn't you say? Like, they're kind of playing him when he was injured, and then he didn't come. There was a little discrepancy on when he was ready to come back. Seems like a Commanders kind of thing.
Is it because it's a Commanders kind of thing, or is it like, you could probably think of a half dozen other situations where a team has run their prized possession into the ground, right? You get your golden goose player and you just overuse them and things don't go well for you. It's football. It happens. If you don't like it, don't go into football. Go do some other sport. I get it. There's a lot of money involved, but And yes, it was unfair, and they were all criticized for it. I just don't know why we're talking about it. RG3, you're a pundit now. You sit behind a desk. You probably get paid handsomely to do that stuff. I don't even know. Like, what network is he with?
I think ESPN.
Okay.
Might be Fox now.
Like, it just shows how little I even pay attention to anything he has to say. Maybe that's why he's just bringing up 2012. Whatever. Hey, guys, was Richard Sherman out of line when he asked Tom Brady, "Are you mad, bro?" or whatever it was? Was that what he said? Was that the thing? Was he out of line? I really think he was. Let's talk about it. Let's get a headline going on this.
And then he got in an argument with Michael Crabtree too.
Oh yeah, Crabtree. Yeah. I remember they used to dub over pro wrestling
Don't test
videos.
Me with Crabtree.
Yeah.
Can't include the rest of what was
Crabtree.
said. But
that is a legendary interview.
It was outstanding. But we'll talk about it in those terms. We don't need to dissect it in 2026.
All right, we'll go next here. Now we're entering the food ones, gentlemen. And I did bring this up earlier in the week, but it's so fascinating that I want to bring it up with Mr. Sylver. Olive Garden is bringing back its never-ending pasta pass for the first time in 6 years. Pay $100 and the pass gives you customers unlimited pasta dishes for 13 weeks. No limit on visits. Gentlemen, are you in or out on a pasta pass at Olive Garden?
$100, 13 weeks. How many times would I actually want to go? Because I'm not going Olive Garden multiple times in a week. At this point in my life, at a different point in my life, this might have been like a very sound investment. But at this point in my life, as a 43-year-old, am I going to Olive Garden multiple times a week? But I would go. I think I would go enough times to justify it. we talking about any kind of pasta, or is it just like spaghetti?
No, it looks like multiple. I see chicken parm, spaghetti and meatballs, Alfredo, bolognese.
Right. Yeah, because these
would you
meals
have to go 5 or 6 times maybe for it to pay itself? Maybe less.
When's the last time y'all been to an Olive Garden?
Oh God, not for a while. There's a good one out Foxborough, but
I've ever been in one.
Do you have one near you, Sean?
Well, I'm right in that area, so I went to the Foxborough one with my family last year, and it was actually, I wouldn't say like quite expensive, but it was more expensive than other like family dining experiences that I'd had in the area, which I guess was kind of surprising, because it's Olive Garden, it's a chain. I mean, it's good. I mean, and it surprised me that we spent as much as we did there as a family of 4. I forget what the bill was. So, yeah, I mean, this seems, particularly in this economy, this seems like a no-brainer. Chris, you a big pasta guy?
Yes, I'm a big pasta guy. I'm a DeSisto. I'm Italian, and
But does Olive Garden live up to your standard?
Even growing up Italian, I've never been to Olive Garden.
Okay,
so I can't fully speak for the quality of Olive Garden, but as a college student or going to be a graduate student, I'm taking that deal. I talked about it last time. I'm taking that deal every time. I can go whenever I want for only $100 for 13 weeks and unlimited visits. And then you brought it up, the versatility of pasta. Like it's not just you're going for spaghetti. Like you can get chicken parm, you can get chicken Alfredo, you can get so many different things. So you're basically paying $100 for like good quality dinner for 13 weeks.
Be a nice carbonara
for a college kid. Like that is amazing. That's perfect.
I would have worked that thing so bad as a college kid.
Yeah,
for sure.
You can also add unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks for $12.99. So imagine going in there. You can have unlimited soup, salad, breadsticks, and pasta.
Unlimited breadsticks.
So,
but how much can you actually eat though? I mean, you've seen me, Joe,
I mean,
but
that's what I'm thinking. Like if you, Joe, and I, and Chris, and we went in there, like I think we would get our money's worth. But would we?
We'd do damage.
Yeah, we would, dude. I think we would win the deal, but is at what cost are we talking about?
Yeah.
Here? Like, do we really need that second soup and the 3 Caesar salads and the 8 breadsticks?
Yeah, that's the thing. Those things are they're a garnish on the meal, right? And
leftovers.
But are you taking, when you have your never-ending pasta pass, are you just like, oh, get me one of these. Oh, wait, I can't eat it. I'm bringing it for leftovers. I mean, that's kind of cheating. You got to be fair with these people.
It saves another drive.
True. Yeah, less greenhouse gas emissions.
Do you guys like the unlimited sushi places where it might not be the best quality, but you go in and $20 and you can?
This is a thing that exists.
Yeah. You can have all you can eat sushi at a lot of places that aren't as. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but $20 and you can eat as many rolls as you want.
Did not know about this.
Really?
I want to know about this.
Are you a sushi guy?
Well, here's the thing. Like, there's a lot of blind spots for me. Just culturally, just in general. There's stuff I didn't get growing up on Cape Cod, and I'm sure there were sushi places on Cape Cod in the 80s and 90s, right? But like, I don't know, my family, we just never had sushi or went out for sushi. I never went to a hibachi until I was 40 years old. And my wife was just like, you never been to hibachi? And I'm like, yeah, we've been together all these years. We've never been to hibachi. Like, what's stopping us from going to hibachi? And she's like, well, we got to go and get some hibachi. So since then, I might have been 39. Since then, we've made hibachi a regular thing, and my children love it as well. But yeah, sushi was not a thing I grew up eating. And now that, it took me a while even to get around to that, but to make the decision to become a sushi fan, oh, how wonderful that has been. It is so great. So to think, Joe, of never-ending sushi, I mean, your boy would, how many rolls do you think I could take down?
After I saw your performance so for the record, I actually had a sushi eating contest once that I won. And I took down 58 pieces.
58?
58.
Was this recent?
It was a year ago. Yeah.
Oh, so you're still in fighting form.
Yeah, so...
Do you want to do this again?
But I think you would be a better competition. No, when I say sushi eating it was my 10 friends. It was to decide the fantasy draft order and we just went, how many pieces of sushi could you eat? It worked out well for me. I was a little sick at the end, but I think Sean might be a tough comp, considering when I saw him eat at Tanka and he can put down food pretty good. I feel like we'd be in for a battle there.
It would be a battle. It would be. I just got to, don't be the gatekeeper here, Joe. Like, you got to tell me about these places so I can eat this all-you-can-eat sushi. Got to get going.
All right, next, gentlemen. This has been in the news for quite some time, but I wanted to get your opinions on a different spin on it. So we all know about the shredded iceberg lettuce issue, right? And Taylor Farms and Taco Bell has apparently been linked to the outbreak. Looks like a parasite that some people can have. Although it is expanding to non-Taco Bell places they're being reported of. However, gentlemen, would you be in or out on still going to Taco Bell knowing they've had a recent parasite scare in the lettuce?
Well, it was lettuce that they had sourced, right?
Yeah. So it's not
that
it's not
the parasite was from
I think lettuce
from their
in
site.
multiple places has been reported to give the parasite. So it's not
right.
It's not on that. I guess, are you guys going to be actively avoiding anything with lettuce or restaurants that might have salads and stuff like that?
I've always been a guy. I've never gotten lettuce on my burger, so I'm safe there. At least never get lettuce on my burger.
Chris is safe.
Never.
I don't know. It definitely gives me, a little bit of pause. But I ate a burger from Wendy's today. What?
Did it have lettuce?
Why did that make you laugh, Joe?
I feel like
it did. It had lettuce.
You're like you're a lean, strong guy, and I'm just shocked. Like
I got the JCD.
You go to Wendy's, and how I'm just shocked by I feel like you strike me as someone who eats really healthy, and
yes,
maybe you do.
Yes and no. I was with my son, and we needed just a quick meal, and I was just like, yeah, let's. I was like, what do you want to do? He's like, I want to go to Wendy's. I was like, sure. So that's what we did. We went to Wendy's. I got a JCD and I got a crispy chicken. Two of the value sandwiches, and there you go.
Do you like a McFlurry? I mean, a Frosty. My apologies.
Yeah, he got one. I didn't get one. I didn't need to pile on with the sugar and stuff.
Would you go the vanilla or chocolate?
Probably chocolate. Yeah, strawberry if they're making it still, but I don't think they have those anymore.
It looks like they're putting toppings in them.
Yeah,
I don't want to get too carried away.
They call it the fusion or something. I saw. I was looking at the menu there.
Yeah, it happened to come across your eyes. Interesting little creation.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we're sticking with food again. As you know, you're with the Street Team, Joe. Chipotle is giving away $1 million in free burritos for the World Cup final. During the second hydration break, they'll be posting something on Instagram, and you have to claim the code. Are you guys in or out on claiming a free burrito during the hydration break at the World Cup?
On 3, Chris. 1, 2, 3.
Out! Aw. Out? Why out? You get a free burrito.
All right, gentlemen, let me tell you about a place called 2007. In the World Series, it was the first player to steal a base wins a taco for their fans. And it was Jacoby Ellsbury stole a base for the Red Sox against the Rockies. And the next day I went to, we were just talking about it, the Quincy Taco Bell. My. It wasn't a free burrito. It was a free taco, right? I think I said it right. I waited 45 minutes in line for a taco. Just not worth it. Can you imagine the lines? I am not a patient person. Can you imagine the lines at the Chipotle for this? No, nothing. No burrito is worth it. Chipotle is good. I'll just go up the street and I'll have no wait, and I'll pay $8, $9. You're in though, Chris.
I was originally in just because it's free. It's a free burrito, but I did not think about the lines. And also, you stack the fact that it's the World Cup and then the World Cup final, so everybody's going to be watching that. And then you have the lines, so I'd be out. But and then also, it's on Instagram, and you have to claim a code. So that's like people are going to be posting fake codes and stuff.
Oh man,
and stuff like that. And I like it will just be a massive free-for-all.
Yeah.
That could be rewarding for a free burrito, but like it's $12 or $11 depending on what you're getting for a burrito, so it's not like the end of the world.
Yeah.
I'm out on it. I'm out just because of the lines and like World Cup.
As Ray Romano once said on Saturday Night Live, you got to get to White Castle before the weirdos show up. You just you give away something for free, and you're just dealing with all elements of society. Please.
All right, gentlemen, we'll finish with one more, and this one really caught my eye because it felt kind of like an insult to me. Golden State reportedly alerted Jonathan Kuminga, that he was taking too much food from the family room at the Warriors facility. Sources in the situation said the relationship between Kuminga and the organization had become petty and should have ended years ago, and taking too much food for him and his crew was a part of it. Gentlemen, whose side are you on here? Would you be a player that would be taking all the food from the facility? Especially, it looks like it's a pretty good platter here.
Sure.
Or would you be on the side of the team that's like, hey, you're overdoing it here?
Come on. Like, again, this team, I would have to know the specific examples, right? Was he like just walking out of there with trays? Like, is this just
It looks like he was bringing in, it says he was bringing in multiple people to also feed.
Okay, so his crew was
So it was a crew. It was a crew.
This sticks with me a little bit because I once had an experience, and I won't be specific in any way, but I ran a children's program over at Fenway Park many years ago where me and some colleagues ran a program, and the children of the Red Sox players were the audience to whom we were running the program. And afterwards they were like, yeah, come on, have a bite to eat before you leave, whatever. That was great, awesome. And I think I kind of cozied up to like the little hot plate area there, and they were like, oh no, some of the wives are giving you stink eye. You got to get away from there. You got to stand over here. And I was just like, well, wait a minute. You told me I could have some food because I did a great job, and now I have to leave because I'm getting the side eye from the Red Sox wives. So if I had a locker room experience there and I was able to get the food, I would be taking the food. And in fact, I would invite my friends back to take some food as well. Joe, you come with me. Chris, how do you feel about this?
I'm in the same boat, and also like this is the Golden State Warriors, which is like a multi-billion-dollar organization,
right?
And yes, Jonathan Kuminga is also on a massive or multi-million-dollar contract.
Yeah, he's fine.
So, but I mean, you're offering, and did they talk to him multiple times, Joe, or was it like just once, or?
I don't know. It seems like this might have been like an icing on the cake type of thing because the relationship was already sour. But it looks like at the article they had come up to him and said, you're feeding too many people, and he continued to bring in his crew.
All right. Well, if they warned him, that is a little bit different. But again, it's a multi-billion-dollar organization. You're telling me you can't feed a couple more people? You're ordering what, one more pizza or two more pizzas? Like,
I guess it depends on what the couple of people are.
Yeah.
Was it a couple? Was it 10? Now feeding extra people, fine. Feeding extra people who are perhaps disruptive in the space.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Maybe it was that. Like, are they causing problems? Are they, doing the Rick James and just stomping all over the couch, just muddying it up? I don't know. I don't know why my brain went there, but so it did.
All right, gentlemen, that's going to do it.
Leave your couch, Steve Kerr.
Yes.
All right. Hey, let's catch this clock up right here. What a
typical
time.
Joe fashion. Yeah, the double break. Here we go.
Here we go.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Need a new roof? It's East Coast Metal Roofing's Beat the Heat promotion. Reference Felger, 98.5 The Sports Hub, anything like that, and get 10% off on your complete roof replacement. Never replace your roof again. Visit eastcoastmetalroofing.com. That's eastcoastmetalroofing.com.
Looking for a great deal on a stylish SUV? The Mazda CX-5 is the SUV deal you've been waiting for. And now during the Mazda More to Move You sales event at 495 Mazda in Lowell, you can lease a new 2026 Mazda CX-5 2.5S for just $219 a month for 36 months with $54.19 due at signing. Visit 495mazda.com.
Unlock your brand's potential with multi-platform advertising trusted by over 500 local businesses. With a powerful mix of radio, streaming audio, and targeted digital solutions, your message reaches the audiences that matter most. From the influence of trusted local radio to the precision of digital targeting and the flexibility of streaming audio, this approach delivers measurable results that drive real growth. Visit 985thesportshub.com/advertise.
New England's hair loss expert is Dr. Matthew Lepresti at Leonard Hair Transplant Associates. Check out what Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports shared about his hair transplant with Dr. Lepresti.
And that's game over for any chick. It's like, oh, Prez is bringing the thunder in the front and the party in the back. I may even go man bun. So, yeah, I'm loud, I'm proud. I got hair transplant surgery. Deal with it. I'm coming for you, America.
Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free hair loss consultation with Leonard Hair Transplant Associates.
You're at the precipice of everything you've been working toward. Citizens Private Bank is ready to help you take.
Hey, this is great. This is like a celebratory mood here. Sean Sylver here. Chris DeSisto alongside here for the 9 o'clock hour. Thank you for joining me, Chris.
Thank you for having me.
Street Team Joe on the board tonight, keeping things ship shape and up to snuff. And Chris, the Red Sox had defeated the Tampa Bay Rays by a 5-3 score, a classic patchwork bullpen game, couple of key hits, and it's 11 in a row for the Red Sox. Can you believe it?
I cannot at all. It's going from one of the worst Red Sox teams in history to now winning 11 in a row and being in the wild card. I would not believe a single person that would tell me this. It's insane. I can't believe it.
It seemed like almost daily there were tweets or whatever where people were citing these statistics about just how historically bad the Red Sox had been. Are there particular performers or say the coaching staff, like what really sticks out to you right now is like what's doing it for them?
I definitely, Anthony Siegler has definitely been one of the biggest additions, and I think the biggest bright spots, and Caleb Durbin as well. Mm-hmm. And Caleb Durbin also came out and said he got outside coaching help, specifically on hitting. So that is a little bit interesting, but I think Anthony Siegler's success, I don't know if it is the hitting coaching staff. I don't know what came together, but it's just crazy because the Red Sox have been having more injuries. You had Conley Early getting injured. You had and then Suarez getting injured too. And you're like, all right, it was starting to get brighter. Now it's going to get darker. And then all of these people filling in the injuries that they're calling up are actually the bright spots and really bringing it back. It's like the power of friendship in 2013. But it's crazy how much of a vibe shift this entire team has been. And Anthony Siegler and Caleb Durbin, especially hitting wise, have been two of the biggest standouts to me.
Yeah, I love a good plucky underdog story, and this team certainly showing that. I mean, they weren't necessarily supposed to be in this position. They were at the outset, they were supposed to be a contending team, but as I always say, circumstances and expectations change as seasons go along. I mean, just look at the Celtics. They were not expected to be in a certain situation. Then they were in that situation, and then they failed. So, I mean, with the Red Sox case, they were expected to be there, then they weren't. Now they're there, and it's really up to them to see how this plays out. But inspiring stuff. I'm glad that there's some baseball of meaning being played right now, because it would be a really boring summer if we were just talking only about Patriots training camp, which is fun and all. They're the defending AFC champions, but it's good to have something else. That's for sure. It really is. I was going to ask you guys about a couple of things here. If we could muse a little bit before we leave. But actually, I was going to pick your brain, Chris. So on my podcast, Cracked Rear View, where we talk about 1990s music generally, we actually were talking 1990s movies.
Okay.
So I want to see. So because this is a music podcast, the premise for the show was best soundtracks from 90s movies. So we picked one per year. If you could think about specific 90s movies, because I just saw you had a reaction there, and you're a guy who, you're a movie guy. I've learned from you during the breaks here, and it's very apparent that you are. Is there a 90s soundtrack that sticks in your head just from saying that?
Absolutely. I mean, there's two. It's Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. Automatically.
okay.
I was actually wearing a Reservoir Dogs shirt yesterday to the movie theater when I saw the Odyssey. So, yeah, Reservoir Dogs, I actually would listen to that all the time. And then Pulp Fiction, too. I mean, you never can tell. It's like, that's one that you would like. It's the Jojo Rabbit scene, and like you think like that isn't fun to put on, but every time you put it on, you can't help but do the dance. Like those two soundtracks I love.
Nice. I really and this is a guy, I didn't even tell him I was going to do this, quickly reacting to the topic. And yeah, there were two soundtracks that came up. I believe Reservoir Dogs was, am I wrong? Did Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails like do that soundtrack? I think
that sounds familiar.
Maybe it was that, or maybe it was another one. See, again, not the movie guy. I was having a conversation with someone who is a movie guy and selected these. But how many of these 90s movies have you seen? Because these were some of these movies that were selected. So from 1990, we picked the movie Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater. He plays a radio DJ. How about New Jack City?
Oh, New Jack City, I know. I haven't seen it, but I know New Jack City. I haven't seen it, but see, the thing with me is it's either I have seen the movie or I just know about it.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
It's in like a very, very wide range.
Have you seen Singles? Generation X, Cameron Crowe.
No, I have not.
I would recommend that because that's one I've actually seen.
Now I'm starting to realize that 90s might be the decade.
I'm finding
for me. Yeah, it might be the weak spot.
A blind spot. Well, I mean, Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. I'm always up for taking recommendations and stuff. And let's be clear here: these were not movies that we necessarily recommended seeing. We said that the soundtracks were great.
Soundtrack is important.
How about Cruel Intentions? Have you seen Cruel Intentions?
Cruel Intentions, I haven't seen it. There's very long period where I was not allowed to see it. But,
yes. But hey,
I know that movie very well.
I feel like you have freedom to see this now. Oh man, what is that? The music, Joe? This has been like the fastest 3 hours ever. This is like apparently
just a couple guys talking shop,
This is apparently like what's going.
Feels like we were just like podcast. We were just like a couple friends, couple dudes just talking sports,
talking Tanka.
Yeah, talking Tanka. Yeah, Andy calling little
movies,
little movie.
Man,
Chris,
little
I'm like stunned how much you know about movies before you even born.
Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah. That's what the biggest thing. Like my dad put me in front of a TV, and I've watched 70s movies. I'm about to watch one with him tomorrow, I think. That was made in 72 called Sorcerer. Like never heard of it before, but it's 72. So I love 70s movies. That's like my favorite decade.
Nice. I could stand to learn a lot more about movies, so I hope we cross paths again. Here I was throwing out stuff that wasn't even good. You go watch Sorcerer and give us a review. Maybe I'll go see The Odyssey, or I'll just skip it and watch another rom-com because those are short and easy.
Everybody go see The Odyssey. It's generational.
There we go.
You'll never forget it.
Generational. With Chris on the byline. Hey, I'm Sean Sylver, in for Joe Murray tonight. Street Team Joe, appreciate you. Chris, appreciate you hanging with us tonight. And I'm sure we'll be back with some really fun programming next week, nights on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Happy birthday, Jim!
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Dreaming about that backyard oasis? Plymouth Quarries can make your dream come true. You're going to do this once. Do it right. Get started at PlymouthQuarries.com. Plymouth